It is high.
Voicemails. Hey.
It is far.
Voicemails. Get it.
Talkin Yanks voicemail show with BBD and Joez.
Hey. Welcome to the Talking Yanks voicemail, which is a form of therapy for us sickos that love the Yanks. This show is for you and run by you, represented by a couple that are like you. Woo! I finally found it. All right. I'm Joez McFly. That is BBD.
Hello.
We got Alex grabbing the Grappler's Quarter. Grappling.
Among the worst losses of the year last night. Coming off that.
Among the worst losses of the year. At this point, it's not even a surprise. Here we talk about the Yankees, the team that loves to disappoint us sometimes. You have to keep reminding yourself.
They've been loving to do
73-win
that.
team.
It's a weird headspace to be in.
Yeah.
And while I appreciate that no other teams are taking advantage of the landscape.
Correct.
It's a weird brain space because Yankees are in a good spot, but they are among the teams not taking advantage of the situation and how there's no juggernaut teams right now, and if they just played better, they could waltz to the top seed in the AL and have home field and all of that. But that's just general mood stuff.
Yeah.
That I think is a little bit reflected in some of these voicemails, and we can just get into those.
Absolutely. If you ever want to be part of the voicemail, first of all, number one, like the video and subscribe.
That's the easiest way.
That's
to
the easiest
get
way.
Involved.
And then make sure you dial 908-845-5792 and leave us some voicemails. Let's go. Oh, this episode is brought to you by somebody, right?
I'll tell the people about that in a minute.
All right.
Yankees lose. What the hell is Boone doing? Play Wells, bench DJ, get rid of Verdugo, and let's let the fucking kids play ball. Peraza, Cabrera, the Martian. It's almost as if those are positions we're struggling on. But they're right around the corner.
Facts. Yes, Wells needs to be playing. I need the Yankees to be able to do that more. I know that Trevino's out there, but I was listening yesterday. I was listening to the radio, the actual radio, and I was listening, and people were saying, "Why don't you put Wells at first sometimes as well?" Maybe that'll open up, if you're able to do that. That could possibly open up a roster spot for Jason Dominguez to come up, because then you could just send down Ben Rice, right? Now he apparently played in college. I'm just looking for ways that we can make the lineup a little bit more.
It'd be interesting if at some point in his career he makes that an option for himself.
But not right now. He's also a good catcher.
Especially, he's been a really good defensive catcher. It really is incredible what he's done with the scouting report, the whole way, since the moment he was drafted, being he made it was the most optimistic defensive scouting report was he could catch in the big leagues someday, but even those people, the people who would say that would say if things are going well for him as a prospect, the bat was gonna be just accelerating too fast, and we probably shouldn't wait for the defense to catch up. But he has been a good defender on the whole, and elite in certain areas of defense. And
I'm actually surprised he didn't mention DJ. Did he mention DJ in the call?
The caller mentioned DJ.
Okay, good. That needs to be the first one. People are saying yo, I think it's because he just looks not a a ball player anymore, which is weird.
Yeah, Wells. I give the Yankees a little slack on it because his numbers against lefties are not good. Mm-hmm. He doesn't look uncomfortable there. They have to give him a chance to become good against lefties, so he doesn't never get good there. So they shouldn't not play him against lefties. But as a team, they struggle to hit left-handed pitching, and Trevino is a guy who hits lefties. So I'm not getting Trevi into those games isn't a bad plan, and especially if it's a lefty on the mound on the other side and a Cole day. All right, I expect to see Trevi that day. Cole likes pitching to Trevi. Like that's fine. But I definitely don't need to see it be a straight up platoon tonight.
Yeah.
Is it a people are talking on Twitter like it's a lefty pitcher for them tonight, but I don't think it actually is.
They've been
Canty, it is a lefty tonight, and Wells is in there batting fifth.
I think the next time that they see it, which is weird now, the next time that the Yankees see a righty, it's a cold day.
Yeah.
Which is okay. Now what?
Boone, we alluded to that with Boone yesterday.
Yeah.
And his answer, it sounded like Wells will play that day because he said his answer was, I don't have exact phrasing, but Cole's pitched to a lot of catchers and had a lot of success before. So
they win a side.
That answer tells me, Wells will catch that day.
Okay.
Which is, it's all fine, and I'm fine with Trevi getting in against some of these lefties, and Wells played a ton. I know we've talked about some playing time stuff, and catcher's the one spot where it's like, okay, if you want to get him the day off against some lefties, I'm not against him ever getting days that he doesn't play. It's annoying that we feel so reliant on his bat because he's been so good.
Right.
But look, I get the whole thing with him there. As far as the rest of the youth movement type stuff, if Wells could play first, it would be interesting how that.
That's what I was thinking about.
It would be kind of cool to open up a spot for Dominguez that way. Other than you're in a little bit of a who's your. No, they have other guys who can slide to first later in a game if you need to move Wells.
That's what I'm saying. That could.
I hadn't thought about that at all.
It could make your roster a lot more flexible. With how you're playing people.
But they haven't actually done it.
Right.
So it's I can't expect it to be done when. In pro ball, he hasn't played. I don't think he's played any first.
Right.
I'll double check. There was some talk last year when he was still in the minors. I think about he worked out a couple times.
Maybe that's where his future will be, first base. But I'm just saying.
Yeah. Or if his bat,
he's still a good catcher.
If his bat is
don't
doing
feel
this,
I don't think he's a good catcher. I'm just thinking about ways to make the roster more flexible.
If his bat is doing this much, and who knows what the roster looks like in a few years, but Salvi plays a lot of first base. I know he's older and he'd already had some mileage before they even started doing that, I think. Well, he was 23 the first time he played first in the big leagues. So the first time he played a substantial amount was 2 years ago. So there's eventually that'd be a good tool for him to pick up if he's gonna hit like this. But yeah, I don't see it happening. Seeing that kind of move happening now.
Yeah,
him and Trevi balance, I kind of get it. The other moves, people. So who do people want in right now? It's the youth movement.
Well, they said Peraza. I think he was saying Cabrera as well.
Peraza, Cabrera, and they want Doogie and DJ out.
Yeah.
Is what that caller said.
Yeah.
Which,
if
you're a guy who doesn't believe in DJ at all, I have no argument against you. Okay. His numbers against lefties aren't even impressive. At the same time, he might be, of the guys, well, not Peraza, but of the other guys that have been playing on the corners, he might be the best defender at first or third.
Yes.
I believe in the future of Jazz Chisholm's third base playing, but Ben Rice is learning the position, and Peraza is actually good, so he's not part of that conversation. I think they believe in DJ versus a lefty, whether right or wrong, and his defense is generally fine, which is how he ends up still getting playing time. At some point, that kind of has to go away because he's not earning it.
Right.
I know Ben Rice of late is not forcing the issue, but we're trying to find Peraza and Cabrera at bats. I know there's some handedness concerns either way with them, and I think their plan for them is those two kind of platooning at third at least while Jazz is out. But Oswaldo, they've thrown to first. They've done it a couple
That's true.
times. He started a game there this year. And Peraza, I'd like to see more. He's hitting so far against lefties at least. He's a guy who he's 24 years old, and they at one point had some stock in.
Huh.
So the concept of a youth movement, this lineup is actually quite young.
Yes.
But so like they don't. I would say they don't need to get those guys in just because they are younger bodies.
Yeah.
Because they have, and look, going down the starting lineup, Glaber's 27, Soto's 25, Judge is the old man besides Stanton at 32. Wells is 25.
Yeah.
Verdugo's 28.
They're young.
Is the next
They're
oldest.
just young and not like supremely fast.
They're just yeah.
Right?
So it's always more exciting to see young players. This specific group I don't need to see just because they're young. The whole position player crop outside of Judge, Stanton, DJ are young players. Even Trent Grisham's 27.
Yeah.
Like nobody's too old. Travie catchers. So it's a weird predicament, and I get why people want to see something else because the lineup's been not working for an extended period besides while they had Jazz for 2 weeks. So everybody's looking for something. Everybody's looking for something. But next voicemail in this episode are brought to you by Pikkit.
Let's go.
Pikkit is a free bet tracker that allows you to see all your bets in one place. The app tells you which teams, players, and bet types you are most profitable on. Not a joke. I've used this app quite a bit. I use my DraftKings account, and it is a nice way to like check like how have I been doing this month on the whole. It does a good job of like setting apart like how do I do in my basketball situations, the baseball stuff. Every now and then drop a little WNBA cheddar. It is a nice like organized app. I like looking at the calendar, just seeing like day by day, like just nice for it to like tell you how you're doing.
Yeah.
Because you know, but you can convince yourself of anything. Good. It's good to check in. It helps you there. They're hosting an influencer event called Pikkit at the Park this weekend.
Pikkit at the Park.
You and I will be there.
Yes. We'll be there.
So you listening can come hang out with us. We'll be at Billy's before the bar. We'll be at Billy's before the game.
Yes.
It is a bar. They're taking a bunch of influencers to a Yankee game. That's us. And if you buy a ticket in section 234, you get to hang with us and the Pikkit crew for the game. It's this Saturday, August 24th, Yankee Stadium, Bronx.
Let's go watch the Yankees. Let's win.
It's the Rockies. It's old timers
Yes.
day. If you don't want to be at the Billy's part, still come say, hey, section 234 is where we'll
there.
be. I'll be there. You'll be there. Book It with Trent's there. Kelly in Vegas is there. The BDGE guys are there. They have a bunch of people coming. So it should be fun. Yeah.
Come hang out.
Check out everything. Come see us.
All right, cool. So next voicemail kind of has to do with the flip side of that youth movement. If the young guys got to play, some other people have to not play.
Yep.
Hey guys, so that was the worst fucking game, like ever, almost.
I understand.
I saw a tweet, and I'm not exactly sure the tweet was. It compared the stats of Josh Donaldson last season to DJ this season. And I think it's worth to just bring up what is up with their obsession with certain players. How come DJ's going to figure it out, but Josh Donaldson wasn't going to figure it out? How come Volpe's going to figure it out? We just got to keep giving him time, but Peraza doesn't get that treatment. They brought up Peraza 2 years ago when Judge was doing the race. He hit 330, and then they just kind of gave up on him. Volpe came up and did terrible, and they just stuck with him this whole time. I understand he has his stretches, but his average at this point is not good. So, I don't know. Go Yanks.
I think commitment has a lot to do with the money invested in a particular player. I think that's just the truth about it.
Money's a big part. Money's a big part.
Donaldson, it's easier to cut bait with Donaldson because of the contract situation. You just have less time.
Yeah.
DJ, I'm not saying I agree with this, and I'm not his accountant. I'm not Hal's accountant or anything, but DJ's got what?
There's
3 years?
I think 2 years
2 years?
after this one.
So it's like, and it's $15 million. Yes, the Yankees can eat that.
Yeah, like it's on the table.
But they're like, they want to exhaust every single option before they can determine it a sunken cost.
Yeah, especially at this point in the season when they're trying to make the playoffs and all that. They're not going to, I don't see them ditching the asset completely for nothing. DJ LeMahieu, an asset. People are going to be upset I use that word to describe him. They're not going to just cut bait with him at this point.
They're going to try to see if they can get something from the roster spot. When they decide to cut somebody, it's because
the roster spot's more valuable.
the roster spot is more valuable than what you owe this person.
Like you could, they, like after the season, if they want to maintain the 40-man roster spot or they're protecting X number of prospects and there's 30-ish million left, is that price point enough or are they going to see how he starts next season? And if it's this again, I would think a DFA during the season is possible. Like Aaron Hicks, they gave him the start of last season to see what he had, and he had 2-ish months, and they didn't like what they saw, so they cut bait.
You can't phantom my DJ because I feel like he wants to play.
He feels like every time he's been IL'd, it's been a phantom IL. Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at their numbers. The last year, Josh Donaldson. This year, DJ LeMahieu. It's man. DJ had a few more at bats and 10 more games. He had 210 at bats, 62 games. Josh Donaldson played 50 games, $190 plate appearances. Donaldson has him on slugging and OPS by a lot.
So
DJ does have him in the on base and batting average battle.
Maybe the time is coming closer. Because if you're willing to cut him at the beginning of next year, then
if they aren't cutting him, I guess there's a lot of different check-in points that could happen with the DJ cut. I almost said, like, well, if you're not gonna give him next year, then you can cut him now if you don't need the roster spot. I guess it could have, if he doesn't get hot in the next 2 weeks and Birdie and Rizzo are back and they're ready to give Dominguez some time or at least have him be on the MLB roster, then if eventually you're going to run out of spots there if nobody else gets hurt. Jazz is going to be back at some point in September. It sounds like hopefully sooner. Jazz says sooner. So I don't know, maybe it is on the table to happen before the end of this year if he continues to not really show much of anything. And there's like today, there's not another use of the roster spot that's like obvious. So
yeah, once that roster, DJ will be gone or he will stay depending on a couple of things. So
like
it's just one of those.
At the time they dumped Donaldson, he had a month left in the deal.
Who did they bring up for him or replace him with?
Ooh, I can look into that.
I think that's what you could just see real quick because, like I said, when the roster spot, and when we say the roster spot, it's not just putting anybody there; it's putting in X person's production. So, like the Yankees decided to cut A-Rod in 2015 because they felt that roster spot meant more if we were able to bring up Judge.
Transaction. So let me go. So it happened on, where was I? August 29th of last year. So we're a week away from that date.
Yeah.
Who'd they call up? So on the 29th. This doesn't list call-ups.
I also didn't agree with the Yankees cutting A-Rod. Just want to say that.
Yeah.
They needed to give him the
whole situation was really weird.
And
was that? I have to do an advanced search and see what they did.
It's fine.
But ultimately, it comes down to like the contracts that Donaldson was going to be gone at the end of the year. They They were already going to have to pay the buyout. They were already going to have to do XYZ. So DJ situation, I think they're waiting for if he can show them anything and they don't have to, and they can have any excuse to not just lose that money for him to not play. They're going to exhaust that option. That's especially while nobody else is knocking on the door, which is it is what it is. That's unfortunately the game. But right now there isn't a better use of the roster spot. So I see both.
We'll see if we can open up possibilities for the future.
Yeah. Yeah. So I know yesterday, Beebs, you, Jimmy, and Jake made some waves with some Volpe talks with Aaron Boone. And, our next caller wants to get a little more of your guys' opinion on that.
Okay.
What's up, fellas? I know we got to talk about Volpe, and it's going to be a running thing. My thought of Volpe is, do we bench him for a couple of weeks? Give him some competition? We know Volpe. The best Volpe was he was competing against Peraza. He firmly beat Peraza for the starting position. Now he's the golden boy, so he can't do no wrong, especially because Judge likes him. What do you think if, you bench Volpe for a few weeks, let Peraza get playing time? You don't tell Volpe that he's actually to lose position, but make him realize, like, hey, step it up, baby. And then Peraza can move over to second, so he's constantly kind of hovering without taking the job. What do you guys think?
I think that's what the Yankees don't want to do. Like they don't want to put that in his brain. It's weird. It's like they want to give him that security, right? Now, I think that he is really, really, really good, exceptionally defensively, which
and took
makes
a big
him a
step
plus
up
there.
from the Gold Glove,
right? And I mean, that would be a lot asking of like a Peraza to say, hey, you got to keep up with that, even though he was, projected to be a better glove. So I don't think you could just bench him for a couple of weeks, and I don't think you could just not tell him. I think it would have to be like you're getting him rest days, or I would give him a couple of mental days.
Yeah, I mean before in Toronto, they gave Glaber 2 days off and said, like, this is to clear your head.
Yeah.
And, like,
he started hitting
get your
after
bat
that.
rate. And, like, the before and after that day, like, Glaber's been hitting much better. He hasn't looked like last year.
And Volpe kind of cleared his head when he went on the All-Star break, came back, was hitting.
Yeah.
Right?
The whole thing weirded me out that it felt like that got, like, contentious because all we asked about was like the possibility of a day off, like one day off. And because his most recent hot streak was coming out of the All-Star break, and like everybody involved in that was saying that he really benefited from like 3-4 days like off his feet, like got his base back beneath him, all that. Like he seems like
a 4-day benching feels a little tough, but I think you could give him 2 days.
You can give him back to back, or start with one.
Or give him a 3-day. Like Glaber was actually 3-day, 2 games, 3 days. Schedule it where there's a day off. Boom, boom, back to back, and he gets the 3rd day. Now he has 3 days not thinking about hitting really, or like just working on stuff for mechanics, and then let him come back.
At least the one double off day or something.
Yeah, give him that.
Even last year, he was good out of the break last year, as I recall.
Maybe he's a mental break guy.
Like he was good in August in general.
Some people are.
Like a little break. I could be misremembering the exact count of last, but he was good in August.
Yeah,
he hit a wall, and everyone said he hit a wall in September. Like it's first time playing a full season. I don't blame him for that happening, but he's a guy who like. It seems like everything we've seen in the big leagues, he benefits from a day off every now and then.
Not even a physical break, a mental break.
Like
that's it.
Either way, if it's like literally like let his legs feel better.
Yeah.
If it is a physical break, that's fine. The whole thing was bizarre because even like good irony. And 15 minutes after that episode comes out and our conversation. goes viral in the baseball sphere. Joel Sherman has an article where he asked Brian Cashman about sending him down. It's
Right.
like not even close to what we were asking. And Joel Sherman wasn't suggesting it either, but he was just talking with him about the merits of it.
Yeah.
And like that's not going to happen now because Volpe, like with all that we've said about his bat and the struggles he's had, I agree with what Boone said that at the level he hits right now and his glove, like he is a productive player, among the more productive on the roster.
Yeah.
Like as a complete product, like that is true, and I appreciate that. Last year was the year to, even when you liked the defense, like anytime last year you could have sent him down for a little 3 weeks, like get your confidence up. Like let's come back after the All-Star break and we'll get you back up. We'll give you a chance. We believe in you. Obviously this year no, but he's had like 3 really good hot streaks of different lengths. One of them was like almost a month long, like basically all of May, and into June. But he has been most of the time that since he's come up, most of the time he is actively not being a very productive hitter.
Right.
Like as far as like rolling like 2-week OPS or whatever, like most of the time it's not been in a good spot. The defense is good. Last year would have been the year to send him down for 2-3 weeks and feel confident. It's a little too late now.
Yeah.
Getting him a day off here and there.
If he was,
is reasonable.
Not everybody. Also, if he's just a number 9 hitter, you're not expecting too much offense. You know what? There's a place for shortstops like that too, and they're all glove.
Yeah,
Yankees
and of guys who are in that category and would bat 9th, like I'd take him over a lot of guys in that category because he can be really hot for weeks at a time.
Yeah. So you know what? I'm fine. But the thing is that the Yankees like kind of treat him like he's like, and I think like he's like Judge.
And it's unfortunate for him. And I see the vision long term on the kid. Like my long term view of him is no different. I'm patient on the long term vision of what Anthony Volpe.
I'm not giving up on him either. I don't
like he's 23. Is he 24 yet? I think he's still 23.
Yeah.
He like I believe in him to be good long term. Guys can get better as they enter their mid or enter their late 20s or whatever. There's countless stories in baseball of guys putting it together later, and the fact that he's already a good base runner, good defender, that is great. And he seems like he does work very hard and is willing to try different approaches and all of that. So I see the vision long term. They treat him and they talk about him to the media like he's already a proven star. Yeah. And that's from outside the org, that doesn't feel fair to him.
Yeah.
That's like what the issue is. Like they can't they act like it's blasphemy to propose a day off.
The anointment.
And like I want him to play just about every day. I mostly like what I've seen. Even if the numbers get a little better from where they are right now, like say the season ends and he's just about 700 OPS, called a 95 OPS plus, like that would objectively be a big step up from what he did his rookie year. I will take that. I will be, and next year he'd need to we really would need like a next step, but you can still be a productive player. You can be at the bottom of the lineup. You can do all this. All of this would be not that big a deal if Glaber was having a season like last year's season, if you could bank on Stanton's health a little more, if Verdugo didn't fall off the ledge like he did, if Jazz was healthy right now and hitting like he did the 2 weeks we got to see him, and Volpe could be hidden a little bit, I don't think we'd be talking about it at all, but we're in a period right now with Jazz out that we're desperate for some offense. And he's a guy that's struggling right now. Maybe not anymore. Great night last night. That was awesome.
Okay.
He had a great game last night, so maybe we're part of the baseball devil magic there.
Let's see what he does.
Our next one was pulled just for Joe's because I know it's a topic you love discussing.
Okay.
I would say Jake sucks, but got a picture with him last year at Camden Yards, so I guess we're best friends now. Hey, question. How important is team chemistry in the locker room when it comes to crafting or really getting in, deep into the postseason? Everyone saw Jazz's video, hyped me up, hyped up all the fans. Do you guys think that team chemistry with the addition of Jazz and maybe some other key players can maybe propel this Yanks team to the World Series, number 28? Thanks, guys.
There's something to energy in the team. I don't know if it's necessarily chemistry, but there's an energy that you can create day in and day out. Like 2017 team had that energy, right? Where it just felt like, that team, especially after they added the people at the deadline, that 2017 team always felt like, they were good, the whole thumbs down situation. 2009 had their thing too, where it just felt like they had an energy of, the pies and, just the whole buttoned up Yankee stuff changed with Swisher and Burnett. And that changes chemistry too. Winning builds chemistry. The 98 team we play today, we win today, and that's part of their chemistry, right? And then we talk about the 77 team or 78 team that's always fighting or whatever.
Yeah.
They hate each other, but they had chemistry. They have a winning. It's about having a winning chemistry. So you can like each other all day in the clubhouse, but it's about how I care about like winning chemistry. I think that there's a formula that a character that a team creates in a formula to winning every single day, and that creates their identity. That's their chemistry.
You can, like, just watching a team, you can feel when guys can like really feed off each other in that positive way, or when a team is the type of team that like, oh, they are going to like pick each other up if this guy is struggling, like this guy's going to step up, or this guy couldn't get the run in, so this guy will. That you feel that. Watching a team day in, day out. It's like that stuff, like, I know you can't measure it, but it's real. There is something there. Listen, like having the guys, good dynamic is important.
The guys gotta love each other, and if they're losing, guys, like the chemistry's in the toilet. People just want to go home after. You ever like? I don't know. Like whenever I go to Yankee Stadium and we lose, I know a lot of people go to Billy's or they go to the bars and stuff after. I don't want to like hang and chill too much. I want to go home and wallow in my loss. But
like guys on the team could have like perfect personalities for hanging out with each other.
Yes.
If over the course of a season they lose all the time, like I don't know, didn't have a good day at work, you're not going to want to hang out after, or the vibe's not going to be that good if you don't keep up with the winning. The winning is a big part of all of that, and breeding more of that.
More of that. So we need more of that chemistry.
It all builds off each other.
So I think it's a real thing. It just is different than guys just liking each other.
All right, and next we got our normal thought exercise for you guys.
Okay.
Hey, boys. Good vibes lately, so just kind of looking ahead. But the playoffs started tomorrow with the way everyone's been playing lately. Who's on the playoff roster and who's off the playoff roster? You got a couple positions to think about here. Dominguez coming up here soon, him and Verdugo, the way DJ's been playing, and the way I guess Ben Rice has been playing lately too. You're the manager. You're making the roster. Playoffs start tomorrow. You got to submit it. Who's on? Who's off? Thanks.
Oh, that's a good question.
I always like this question.
I think DJ's obviously out.
DJ would be out. I don't know what his utility on that roster would be. Like
right.
No shots fired, but I'm starting an Excel sheet. I'm starting it. Starters, relievers, outfield, infield, catchers. So we got Wells and Trevi.
Well, are we not putting? How are we factoring Luis Hill?
I have him as a starter for right now.
Okay, so you're saying that his back and stuff like that is not.
I'm gonna.
He's saying the
assume
playoffs start tomorrow, so I don't know how literal we're taking this.
Playoffs start tomorrow. Yeah, okay.
So I don't
Mark's
know.
not bad. So Cole, Rodon.
I'm gonna say Hill's healthy.
We'll put Heel on there. We're gonna need at least one starter spot. The cat infield. Let's start with the outfield. Actually,
Yes, Judge
Soto,
100%.
Stanton.
That counts as part of the outfield, but he's not playing.
He's not playing. Grisham would be on the team.
Yes, Volpe would be on the team.
Infield, we would have Volpe. We will have Jazz. So that
Is Rizzo coming back? He's starting rehab. I can't factor that in.
I can't bring myself to factor in Rizzo quite yet. So, but right now that's 4,
Ben Rice.
6, 8. That's 11 roster spots. Ben Rice. I have him on the team right now. Oswaldo.
Yes,
He's on the team for sure. And
Yankees-
Glaber's on the team.
Yes. So are the Yankees leaving Verdugo off? Would you leave Verdugo off
Probably not. I'm not ready
to do it? Yeah.
to put him on quite yet. I would be shocked if we end up leaving him off altogether. So we currently have 11 position players.
What are we doing with Peraza?
Let's fill in
No,
some
Jazz is
relievers.
back.
We'll have Clay. We will have
Weaver.
Weaver. We will have
Canely.
Canely. We will have Tonkin.
What about Cousins?
I have Cousins. I have Cousins on there.
Okay. Hill.
Those are
no.
Mark Leiter Jr.
Yeah, Mark Leiter Jr.
He's on the team.
He's on there.
Right now, I would say Tim Hill is there. So there's at least one more starting pitcher. So right now we have 7, 8, 9, 10.
Schmidt. Or he's not back.
He's not. I'm willing to pencil in Clark there and put Nestor in the bullpen.
Okay.
So I don't think Nestor needs to be off the team. I think he has
No, but
usefulness.
I do think that Clark being along, if
They
I
could
think
be
his stuff
swapped.
could tick up.
He's had success in the bullpen.
Yeah.
I do want me to put Stroman in there. He's pitching better. And in
Yeah.
theory,
Yeah. Put
let's put
Stroman
Stroman in there. I can put Clark in the pen too.
Okay.
That would, I think, finish out our bullpen. That's
That
9
would do well.
relievers.
Yes.
So that's 9 relievers.
We got the lefty in there.
And 4 starters because I have Tim Hill
Yeah.
and I have Nestor in the bullpen. They're the 2 lefties. So we have 13 other spots to fill a 28-man roster. So we have our 4 outfielders. We have our 5 infielders. That's 9. And
We got
2
the catchers. You put Wells
So that's
and
11.
Tavino.
So that would mean we need 2 more spots. So one of them,
We could give
at least one
I
has to
think-
be Dominguez
yes.
or Verdugo.
I think Dominguez would be on the roster just because
It can just be Dominguez and Verdugo.
it could be both because, obviously they always want to have that speed guy. So
Yeah.
if they want to make him that speed guy, then fine. But I think somebody with Jason Dominguez, they think of him high enough to bat him 5th in the only game that he would come up.
Yeah.
So
They don't have to worry about rookie eligibility or any
Yeah,
of
yeah.
that stuff. If that happens,
I
he's a
think
guy who can
if
play
Jason
center
makes the
field and can
roster,
pinch run.
Verdugo doesn't.
There's definitely a chance, right? So I'm gonna.
But
I'm
who's
gonna-
gonna? That's the thing. Who else would you put instead of Verdugo? Peraza.
It's interesting. So for those playing at home, I think our pitching staff is set. Cole, Rodon, Heel, Stroman, in our rotation. We're believing in Stroman fixing the mechanics and all of that. Relievers, we have Clay, Weaver, Canely, Tonkin, Cousins, Leiter, Heel, and we put Nestor and Stroman in our pen. Scream about whichever one of those you want. Maybe Efros sneaks in there. Maybe if Nick Birdie's back and throwing well, Hamilton can be in there. But in general, I don't see them doing more relievers than this number.
Yeah.
So there's a chance it's like Efros comes back and is good, and Schmidt isn't healthy. So
and again, he said playoffs started tomorrow. Yankees. Oh no, Yankees would lead the division, so they would.
They'd have a couple days to reset.
Yeah.
Nestor would be in if it was tomorrow. He'd be in the rotation.
ALDS.
It's interesting.
All right.
You can get away with just 3. So we'd have one more spot because we have 5 infielders, 5 outfielders. You get an extra bench spot with the starter being out. Do you? Verdugo would have to be the leader in the clubhouse, but other candidates would be Peraza, who can pinch run and play good defense at any of the infield spots.
I actually like the Peraza more.
I feel like I could. If Dominguez is good to go and like they're ready, he's proven that like he should start.
Yeah.
If
we face any lefties or not.
I'd get more use out of Peraza than Verdugo, if I'm being honest right now.
I think if we're facing lefties, like a good amount of lefties in that first round, then you're putting in Peraza.
You know who's going to be, is going to be around? And the whole reason they got him is playoff usefulness? John Birdie.
Oh, John Birdie. Yeah.
He can play shortstop. He can really pinch. He's done pinch running. He can swipe a bag. Really good. They're not going to take.
Then that's the guy. Then
I think it's John Birdie.
And it would be John Birdie over Verdugo.
If that's it. So we right now have Verdugo off the roster, which I think people are excited about, but it does just sound crazy to say. Because we're putting Dominguez on.
You don't really need to have too much.
You don't get extra
loyalty.
It's still 26.
We'll let you come on the bench.
You'll be with the team.
Yeah.
It's still 26-man roster in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Because John Birdie I think would be there.
That's a good catch.
That's leaving Verdugo off. That's leaving Rizzo off. I'm assuming no drama, and Rizzo's just not healthy enough.
If he is healthy, then it's an easy switch for Ben Rice. It's fine.
That's true. That's no DJ.
That's fine.
So in this arrangement, late in the game, we have Oswaldo playing first. If we're doing any sort of pinch running or defensive subbing for Rice. He's done it. It's what I would do with this team. It's just,
oh yeah.
Do we need to see a couple more days of Oswaldo getting over there? Just hey, be ready to do this.
Or Wells. We talked about that though. Go back to the beginning of the episode.
Go back to the beginning. And Rice is an emergency. Are we crazy to have Ben Rice on this?
No, you need a first baseman.
I
don't know
who else is it gonna be if it's
we said if it started tomorrow. If Rizzo comes, I'm more than open to Rizzo coming back and actually being really good
if Rizzo came back
and was clutch
2 weeks before and hit a homer or two before the playoffs.
I can be super sold into him. Easy into Rizzo.
Yeah. And you're not afraid to pinch run for that if he gets on at all.
No.
If he comes out, he hasn't been so proven that. Most of the sample size this year has been
I need people that also play.
I might want to get his bat out of the game later as we currently know this roster.
Yeah. I also
versus a lefty reliever late.
I also want people in there that have been there. He's won a World Series. If you're in a playoff run, if he's good to go, I want people with experience on that bench too.
Yeah.
And he's a leader. He is a leader.
He is
if
a
he's
leader.
playing.
He can put together a good at bat.
Yeah.
I know he's in.
And he'll get hit by a pitch, boy. That could be a big time rally. Get hit by a pitch?
Rizzo, for everything we've gone through this past year and change with him with the concussions and how he played this year and this current injury and all of that, I think he can still hit righties. Okay, the numbers don't support that right now. I think at least he can run into hits against righties right now. First 2 months this year, he was like actually fine against righties. Yeah. And he has first base experience, whether or not you still think he's a great first baseman, whatever. He has played by far the most first base in the organization. Yes. Maybe in baseball. He'd have usefulness there, and he will do whatever he needs to do. Yeah. I've seen that guy throw a bunt down the line if they're shifting him. I've seen that guy just try to work an at bat, foul pitches off, just pull a ball if they need to get a guy from second to third. I've seen him do all of that. Mm-hmm. If that's going to be what he does in the 6-hole for us, let's see. I can believe in that. There's just been so little on him. On this show, the people saw you tell me he's rehabbing.
There's not much guys that could sell me to get somebody new in the lineup. All right, there's not much that can sell me keep me against. I'm not against that. If he gets back
and shows anything,
I'll be sold easy with Rizzo
because
I'll be fine with that. Let's see.
Because so that there's two spots. So circling back, it kind of comes down to two spots that are going to be decided between Verdugo, Dominguez, and it's going to be, and one of those needs to take one of them. And if I have a hard time seeing it being both, and then another spot that's between Peraza, Birdie, if you want to put DJ in that conversation, sure. If Rizzo's good to go, would you still have Rice on the team?
No.
I don't think so. What was it? What righty do you need to pinch hit him for?
Right.
Against a righty reliever. What has he done to earn that since the 3-homer game? I like Ben Rice. The at-bats feel fine. I believe in it, but playoff starts tomorrow.
All right. That's it. I mean, it's like I said, I'm fine. I'll take that. I'll take Rizzo in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
I'm pleasantly surprised at how all right, I'm in on Rizzo being back.
I am so easily so. Anything that will lead to winning.
I think Rizzo would contribute to winning a playoff game.
How many at-bats I need to get sold into Rizzo? If he comes in 10 at-bats and he goes 4 for 10, I'm easy.
If he gets
that's like a weekend.
He gets a hit.
Comes in on a weekend strolling, pop, and does that 4 for 10 in the series. I'm like, let's go.
Last series of the year, he hits 3 balls really hard.
You know what?
If the rest of the team is same vibe as it is right now, he hits 3 balls hard that last series of the regular season.
Hard. It took two, 3 amazing plays.
I can't believe and make a play at first.
Right. And
I'm you're kind of the first
baseman.
Amazing
plays on him. That's why it took okay, you tip your cap to the defense. He made outs, and I'm sold.
The bar is getting low.
The bar's really low.
Yeah, so it's fine. It's
like the team, for better or worse, they acquired one bat at the deadline.
You're jumping on a curb. You're just trying to.
I can't wait to see John.
Not
Birdie
like a big
again.
hop.
John Birdie was kind of hitting lefties when he played this year. Just by the way,
that's good. With that, 908-845-5792, guys. Thank you for leaving us some voicemails. I'm Joez McFly, and we had fun talking today.
We had fun.
And that is BBD. He also had fun talking with us today. And Grap in the Grappler's Corner, who helped put this all together.
Yes. Come to the Pikkit event on Saturday. Yes. We will be there, section 234. Come to Billy's before. We'll at least be stopping in there. If you're going to the Avril Lavigne concert in New Jersey on Friday night, I'll be there.
Oh.
So Big weekend for me.
Big weekend.
I have my like main fantasy football draft Saturday night. It's a big week. That's a big Saturday for me.
That's a big weekend for you.
That'll be.
I have
all
Enemy
over the
NYC.
place.
And a Pikkit game.
Go Yanks.
Go Yanks. See you guys later.
It is high.
Voicemails.
It is far.
Voicemails.
It is God.
Talking Yanks, boys.